installing ISIS, establishing a caliphate across Syria and northern Iraq. And now they've stepped up their advance in an enormous way. They've taken American-made Humvees and weapons that Iraqi troops abandoned and are marching through towns and villages in predominantly Kurdish region, demanding citizens convert to Islam or be killed. Reports are hundreds of men have already been slaughtered, women and children sold as slaves or into the sex trade. Tens of thousands of people, Christians and other religious minorities, could be dead in days unless someone steps in to save them. There are two areas of immediate concern. First, the United Nations groups report as many as 40,000 religious minorities are stranded on a mountaintop with no food and no water. Islamic State militants surround the base of that mountain and will not let them leave. So with temperatures reaching 100 degrees daily, they're dying of heat and thirst. Because according to local legend, the mountain is sacred because it's the final resting place of Noah's Ark. So there the religious minorities sit, 40,000 of them trapped. They tell us as children die, they're being buried under rocks. All will die, all 40,000 without immediate help. There's a second crisis point as well, in the northern Iraq city of Erbil. While some Islamic State fighters surround that mountain, others have marched through cities and towns, and the residents, again, Christians and other religious minorities, have fled with all their belongings. Many thousands have arrived in Erbil over the past day. They too have no place to stay, sleeping in parking lots and at construction sites, according to reporters who were there. It's nighttime now. There's nothing for them tomorrow, with more refugees flocking in and Islamic State fighters threatening to kill or sell the ones left behind. Where's the Iraqi army? Mostly nowhere to be found. The persecuted are asking for U.S. and Western help because without it, the death toll could be unimaginably high. So what do? Well, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and others report airstrikes against the Islamic State fighters are just one in a range of options the president is weighing right now. A senior defense official tells Fox News that the U.S. has already been working with the Iraqi government to coordinate airdrops of food and other supplies. The source also says the Pentagon has reviewed possible military options. I want to show you where we're talking about over here in the wall. As we've been reporting in recent months, ISIS, or the Islamic State, they're now calling themselves, has taken over this huge portion of Syria and Iraq, all of that in the red up there, slaughtering anybody standing in their way. The militants 2 days ago seized Iraq's largest dam after a week of trying. That's created widespread panic. You see, the dam gives ISIS enormous control over the country's infrastructure. They could cut off the power or the water to everybody, or they could flood much of the area, including Mosul. If that dam goes, a Pentagon report indicates that a 65-foot wave of water would drown anything and everybody in parts of the Kurdish north, including 1.5 million people in Mosul, flooded with 6 stories high of water. So big picture now. The reality is stark and horrifying. Terrorists are on the move, town to town. They're on American vehicles with American weapons and American guns, overpowering the local authority and murdering innocents while selling others as slaves. And unless somebody somewhere intervenes immediately, tens of thousands of people will most certainly die within days.